Hello, everybody. Recently, I've been hearing a lot about the best shopping cart meta picks, and as a shopping expert myself, I figured I should probably weigh in. So today, we are going to be comparing the stats of various shopping carts and ranking them on a tier list to find out which meta pick is right for you. Let's begin. First up, we have the default shopping cart. This is pretty much everybody's basic starter shopping cart. You go to any store, you're going to see this shopping cart hanging around. So just taking a look at the stats, I mean, it's got pretty good speed. It's pretty bulky, so it's good strength. Its handling, could be better, but its capacity and utility are the main reasons why it's become so commonplace in the meta these days. I mean, that is a lot of capacity, and its utility, just because of its capacity, because of its, design, it's very useful for everyday use. The only place it loses a lot of points, really, is stealth, just because of how rickety it is. I mean, if you've ever shopped with this shopping cart before, you would know the clanking, the clacking, the sound that it makes as it goes through the aisles. But other than that, definitely a solid pick. So, having said that, I would say that the perfect place for your starter shopping cart is definitely going to be the A tier. Now, up next, we have the basket. Now, I know this isn't technically a shopping cart, but if we're discussing meta picks for shopping, you cannot go without talking about the basket. It has pretty much unmatched speed and stealth as far as shopping carts go. This thing is going to get you where you need to be, and it's going to get you around that store really good. But of course, if you've ever picked up the basket walking into the store, you're going in for a quick mission, right? You're not going to get a lot of strength or capacity out of this thing. So if you're going to spec into this shopping cart, I would just be careful not trying to get too ambitious with your items. So, as a result, I would say that the best place for this shopping cart is definitely going to be the B tier. Again, not technically a shopping cart, but if you've just loaded in, looking to get a few items quick, get out, this shopping cart, this device will be probably one of the most useful. So, because of that, a B tier spot. Now, up next, we have probably our first niche pick of the meta, and that is going to be the cargo cart. So, just taking a look at the stats really quick, not a lot of speed, handling, or stealth, but it comes in great with strength just because it's got this whole platform for any large scale appliances or anything of the like that you need to transport. Now, capacity wise, it's interesting because this basket up here, not really going to be transporting a lot, but if you load something heavy down here, it can get a lot of capacity. So, it really depends on what you're looking for. But I would say for the everyday shopper, unless you're looking specifically to transport these heavy things, it's got its uses, but definitely not something you want to start out with. You're going to have to take some time to learn it. So, just taking a look at the tier list right here, I would say that the only real place for this cart is C for cargo cart. Now, it's not really that bad all around, but I just feel like in terms of general usefulness, most shoppers aren't going to get a lot of value. So, if you're really looking for that niche pick, it's there, but otherwise, not very viable. Now, next up, we got an interesting one. This is the kitty shopping cart. So, if you were a kid, you remember you had your little shopping cart, you would go around the house. I don't know if this is just me or if this is a lot of people did this kind of thing, but I think as kids, a lot of kids had this. And overall, taking a look at the stats, you can see really not the greatest shopping cart, right? It's got great speed and great stealth because of its small size. So it's got in a lot of ways similar to the basket, but its strength, capacity, and utility, I would say, are really not that good. Just not that good. I mean, it's good for having fun, so maybe that's utility, but generally, as a shopping cart pick, not what you're looking for. So, looking at our list here, I mean, stats wise, it probably should be C tier, but just for nostalgia's sake, and because this really is everyone's starting shopping cart, I think this is kind of the epitome of like a B tier pick. Really not good for adult shoppers, people looking to actually get involved in the meta, but for just starting out, for those newer players, I think it's got its good uses. Now, next on our list here, we got the Rolly Basket. Boy, oh boy, I got some things to say about this guy, right? So, taking a look at the stats first, always, it's not that bad. It's pretty mid, is the problem. It's really just kind of mid. Its speed is mid. Its handling is mid. Its utility, it's good, but still mid. Obviously, very weak in strength, not a lot of capacity to work with, and not super stealthy either, because now you've put this guy on the ground, you're rolling it around. All of the advantages of the basket are now gone, and you've basically just put it on wheels and made half of its stats worse. It gets capacity, and it gets a little handling and utility. It's really not that good. It's just not that good. It can be nice sometimes, but really you're always better off going with a default shopping cart or the normal basket. So I'd say looking at this tier list, I don't think there's any world in which this isn't an F tier shopping cart. It's really just kind of the worst of both worlds when you're looking at these other picks on the list. It just can't really measure up stats wise, usefulness wise. Some newer shoppers may be tempted into using it, but really, from a statistical standpoint, it just falls flat every time. Now, this is where the list starts to get controversial, because next up, we have the double-decker shopper. Now, I have seen so many people knock this guy, but oh my god, I just love this thing so much, right? We've got 1, 2, 3 different baskets to work with. The first 100 in capacity we've seen on this list. Beautiful shopping cart as well. Stealth, even a little better than the default. Even though it's got more layers, it's a lot more compact, so it's not as long, and it's got a lot more depth too. And its utility, it's pretty much always going to be useful if you're looking to get a lot of things, even if you don't need a lot of things. There's not a big disadvantage other than maybe the lack of handling, but strength-wise, it's got the double ram. It really can do everything. I love this shopping cart, and if you're a hater, I don't even want you here. You can get out. This shopping cart is fire. And so, in the case of the double-decker shopping cart, I'm giving it the S. That is our first S tier, boys. Our first S tier. Fight me. Fight me. I don't care. I'm so tired of people knocking it. It is beautiful. Genuinely amazing shopping cart. 10 out of 10. Now, next up, this is one of the newer picks in the meta. We got the gun cart. Now, this is our very American pick. A lot of the pros are using this coming from the Americas region. Now, it's got a lot of strength because of all the firearms, and the utility. I can't see a situation where this wouldn't be useful. You got the blood of the last victims right there. Handling-wise, it's a little tough with all these guns to kind of maneuver properly. Same with stealth if you're going in guns blazing. But as a smaller shopping cart, it's really just, it's got a little more stealth, but with all the weaponry, you can't expect too much. Speed as well. So capacity, I mean, it's got capacity for guns. Now, if you're looking for groceries, maybe not the most capacity, but I would say definitely a very strong pick if you know what you need. This is a pretty good cart. So, in the case of the gun shopping cart, I'm putting this guy in high A tier. This is a niche pick done right, everything the cargo cart hoped to be, but couldn't. Now, it's not an S tier because for general shopping, probably not the most useful, but if you're looking to go in there guns blazing, I can't think of a better shopping cart to help you out. So this next one is really interesting. It was new to me when I was looking it up in my research, but apparently some people have devised a street legal shopping cart, life size. You got the wheel here, the wheels as well. This is a rendition by Tuner Cartoons, pretty cool. So this is a very new pick in the meta. Definitely not your standard shopping cart for sure, but being street legal on the road and all, you got a lot of speed and a lot of strength because it's pretty much like a big car and a lot of capacity. Although the problems do become apparent. Obviously, stealth-wise, you're not sneaking anywhere with this thing, but you almost don't need to when you've got a build like this, because who's getting in your way, right? Who's getting in front of this thing, trying to stop the shop? But utility as well. Unless you're looking to drive around with this thing, which you can, but I wouldn't recommend it, even though it's been done. So overall, definitely a good pick if you're looking to get more advanced, if you're looking to cook up something special. But for shopping, probably not the first choice. So with all that being said, I'm putting this guy into high B tier. I think you could definitely make an argument for A tier, certainly low A tier, but really as a shopping cart, it's just not my ideal pick. No new players are getting any value out of this, and overall I would say if you're looking to go advanced, again, you got options, but definitely not a starter pick, and not super meta right now. Alright, and here we go. Next up, we got the fold-up cart. Now this is your ultimate rogue build, your stealth setup. Stealth 100, you can just fold this guy down immediately. Where's the shopping cart? Where'd it go? You're sneaking away. You got your groceries. You're happy. Now, the rest of the stats are a bit mid. You're not going to get a lot of strength out of this or speed. A little good handling, but generally, capacity on the bottom, you got some space there. But once you fold it, you're going to be pretty stuck without any capacity. So, overall, I love this shopping cart, especially with the uses you can get in some of the areas where you got to sneak a little bit. But generally, I think you could do better. That being said, it is a very strong option. But even with that, I think this guy definitely could be mid A tier. I think its stats are a bit mid, some of them, but just with that unparalleled stealth that you don't really get with most other builds, like the basket, other than sacrificing some other stats, I would say this is definitely one of your better options. A lot of good specialized uses, and even pretty good general use. Pretty good general use. Could be better, could be a lot better, but it's got its picks. Now, next up, we got Ultimate Gorgolon, God of all commerce and ruler of the Superstore. This magnificent shopping cart is truly a beast to be reckoned with. Its divine form is incomprehensible to even us humans. Now, looking at the stats, I can't see why anyone would want to use this thing. A nice novelty for sure, but I don't think if you're a shopper, you're going to be getting any use of this. I mean, I can't see why anyone would think that this is the best shopping cart I have ever seen. Taking a look at the stats, this thing is unparalleled, brilliant speed, amazing strength, obviously. Praise its holiness, its divine form. Now, capacity, oh god, I can't see this shopping cart. It's so beautiful. I don't even have words for it. So, with a build like this, stats like this, I don't think there's any way around it. This cart is definitely going to go into the godlike tier. Easily the best shopping cart I have ever seen. Truly a magnificent work. Praise its beautiful wretchedness, its amazing fantasticness forever. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Comment down below which shopping cart was your favorite. Let me know if there's any I missed. And definitely more tier lists coming soon, so keep an eye out for that. Subscribe, and thank you very much.